The family has finally returned. It's felt like forever since Dom Toretto and company have been pulling off some action-packed stunts. But now they're finally back in Fast and Furious 9. It's been a longer hiatus than usual due to the release of the spin-off Hobbs and Shaw, as well as the dates getting pushed back in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. At long last, the 9th movie in the Fast and Furious franchise is coming to theaters. With it comes the familiar gang from the previous films. But there also come a couple of game changers, namely John Cena as Dom's brother, and the surprising return of fan-favorite character Han. Here's everything we know about the upcoming film. When is the Fast and Furious 9 release date? Fast and Furious 9 will release internationally on May 19, 2021, and in the United States on June 25, 2021. The film had 5 previous release dates throughout 2019, 2020, and 2021. However, the movie was delayed for various reasons, including the release of Hobbs and Shaw, the then delay of No Time to Die, and the coronavirus pandemic. When did Fast and Furious 9 start filming? Production on Fast and Furious 9 began on June 24, 2019. Nathalie Emmanuel opted to send a tweet out to the world announcing the good news, writing, "Day 1 of shooting Fast and Furious 9 today. The team is back together," and adding an emoji to symbolize each of the cast members. Meanwhile, Vin Diesel hopped onto his Instagram to share a video featuring himself and co-star Michelle Rodriguez on set. At one point, Diesel shares with his followers, "We just completed our first day. It feels like a miracle, one hard-earned, but we're just so grateful." Is there a trailer for Fast and Furious 9? Yes. The first trailer for Fast and Furious 9 dropped all the way back in January 2020. Who is directing Fast and Furious 9? Justin Lin, who previously directed Fast and Furious and Fast and Furious 6, will be back to direct Fast and Furious 9 and the next 2 films in the franchise. Lin has been busy since wrapping on Fast and Furious 6 back in 2013, filming the pilot episodes of the TV series Scorpion and SWAT, and directing 2 episodes of True Detective and the 2016 second Star Trek Beyond. Who is in the Fast and Furious 9 cast? Much of the cast from Fate of the Furious is expected to return, including Vin Diesel as Dominic Toretto, Michelle Rodriguez as Letty Ortiz, Therese Gibson as Roman Pierce, Chris Ludacris Bridges as Tay Parker, Jordana Brewster as Mia Toretto, Nathalie Emmanuel as Ramsey, Helen Mirren as Magdalene Queenie Shaw, Kurt Russell as Mr. Nobody, Charlize Theron as Cypher. John Cena makes his franchise debut playing Jacob Toretto. Not only is he the brother of Dom and Mia, but also a master thief and assassin. Sung Kang also stunningly returns to the series as Han Lu, a character long thought dead. Lucas Black, Bow Wow, and Jason Tobin also reprise their roles from the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. Other cast members include Michael Rooker, Cardi B, and J.D. Pardo. What is the plot of Fast and Furious 9? According to the official synopsis of Fast and Furious 9, after the events of the Fate of the Furious, Dominic Toretto and his family must face Dom's younger brother Jacob, a deadly assassin who is working with their old enemy Cypher, and who holds a personal vendetta against Dominic. Will there be more Fast and Furious films to come? Don't worry, there's plenty more Toretto to go around. It was initially announced that the saga would conclude with a 10th film, but Vin Diesel teased that the final adventure may be split into 2 films. Indeed, in April 2021, it was confirmed that the franchise would wrap up with a 10th and 11th film, both directed by Justin Lin. Fast and Furious 9 arrives in theaters worldwide on June 25, 2021. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more.